Good afternoon, subscribers, and fingers crossed subscribers to be. Volcanian 10 here. It's an alright Sunday. It's alright. I thought I'd come out. It's 4:30, so I thought I'd come out, have a little ride on the bike and get a little vlog out of the way. I did do one last week. I went out and got an hour's worth of footage. I caught somebody on their phone putting out at me who shat a brick when he saw I had a camera and threw his phone. I mean, that would have been hilarious to put on YouTube. But unfortunately, I managed to format the memory card before I put it onto my computer. So that's a bit gutting. It was a good vlog as well, I'm going to say that. Only because you can't prove me wrong. Today I wanted to talk to you about how motorcycling has relieved most of my anxieties. Now, I weren't sure if I was going to discuss this, my anxiety issues. I understand it's what a lot of people suffer from. And I also understand anxiety is dealt with, and the level is based on your own personal experience. I'm not saying I'm the most anxious person in the world, or that somebody is, somebody who's got anxiety, it's going to be less than mine. I'm not. But any type of anxiety you suffer is for you severe, because that's, that's it. It's you who are dealing with it. If other people have got anxieties and theirs are worse than yours, that's not your problem. What you're dealing with is your anxiety, and it can be tough. My anxieties have been rather social, and I think it's made a large impact on my life. So I'm trying to do something about it. Now, I am seeing somebody, for it, through that therapy for you. I don't know if anybody's done anything through them, but I had one previous counsellor and they sort of dealt with one aspect, but that wasn't really, my biggest problem. I think they just picked what was easy for them, but my current counsellor is, it's a big help. And one of the things that I thought might help me, this isn't something I discussed with my counsellor, but something I thought might help me a little bit. I thought back to my days when I had my 125 bike, and I used to really enjoy being out and riding, and I thought to myself, I could do with getting a bike again. I miss it, and it might be a good excuse to fight my anxiety issues. So I done it. I booked up my lessons. It'd been about 6 or 7 years since I'd been on a bike, so I went and found a CBT online through Groupon for £60, which was an absolute bargain. But I weren't really impressed with where I'd done it, to be perfectly honest, and I decided against going there for my test. Plus they quoted me nearly £800, which seemed really expensive, and to be fair, it was. No number plate. Oh, he's got it in his window screen. That doesn't count. So anyway, where was I? Motorbiking, yes. So I done my CBT, and that was quite an anxious day for me. I struggled, but I got through it, and that's what, it helped. And I thought to myself, yeah, once I was on the bike, I didn't feel too bad. And there was a nice guy there. Mark, his name was. I'm sure it was Mark. Fuck, who knows. But I met him, and it really helped because he was just a generally nice bloke. And he was doing his CBT. He was a repeat, just like me. And to be honest, I didn't really do much of a CBT. They found out I'd ridden before and had 2 CBTs in the past, albeit 7 years ago. And they just went, there's no point taking you out the car park. They stuck us on a CG125 and straight out the road I'd been. Now, bear in mind, I hadn't ridden for 7 years. And all of a sudden, I was doing my CBT out on the road. It was nerve-wracking, to say the least. But I was alright, I settled back into it. But hence why I didn't go back there for my test. I just thought, well, if they're cutting corners there, where else are they going to cut corners? Here's a message for blah-de-blah. I got a clock. Yeah. £7 from Asda, and it lights up. Woo! Woo! It's too day. You can't see it. It's too light. Right, so where was I? So I'm going to name the place that who I done my test with. They were Art Rider Training. I will put a link in the description below for their website. These guys were brilliant. There's no other way to describe them. They were fantastic. I phoned up to inquire about, doing it all, and I thought it's best to explain. I suffer with a bit of anxiety, and I've been really nervous about the whole thing. But they was like, look, come down, have a chat with us, and we'll sort it out. So I went down there, and they done me a really good deal. They gave me a bit of a winter discount, and I can assure you it cost me a hell of a lot less than £800. And they were great. The instructors there are nice, and I rode out with all of them, at some point, which is great because I got a really varied understanding of what I was doing, which I really enjoyed. I really felt so comfortable that when I was out riding, it was great, and I was chatting to them, and the people would turn up as well. Like, I'd done my lessons mostly on the weekend, and people who had passed their tests with these guys before turned up, and they would just turn up for a chat. And it sort of shows you that, these people, if you go back to the people who taught you to ride regularly and compliment them, and and want to be around them, that shows that these people were the right place to go. I had 3 training sessions. I turned up and one of them went to me, right, I need to see how you ride, so get on this CG125, just ride around the car park a little bit. So I done that, and then he was like, right, and then I do the same on this CBF 500, and I'm sure he heard my gulp, even though I had no microphone, and I was 100 yards away to ride back to swap bikes. Honestly, I was pooping me pants. The fastest thing I'd ever ridden was on a pretty RS125 restricted. But I done it, I went and I got on it, and I sort of first, he stood about 2 metres in front of me. He said, all I want you to do is ride to me and stop about 2 metres, just so I could get an idea of the biting point. And it moved quick, and I was like, oh my god, this is powerful. Anyway, I had to go around the car park, and I felt really comfortable on it. I can't remember if I've got a turn here. Yeah, give way sign, that hints it. So after a few laps of the car park, he said to me, okay, right, Kieran, what we're going to do, I'm going to take the CBF 600, ride the CBF 500, and then, if during the day we get to a point where, you look comfortable, feel comfortable enough that you want to get on the CBF 600, then we'll do so. And I was like, all right, that's fine. I didn't really want to get straight onto a 600, so that suited me down to the ground. It was fast. I loved it, and I got to the. They said I wasn't like most people. Most people sort of like, they slowly creep up to the speed limit and stuff like that. They said it was fantastic. I got on this thing, and the first time we hit a national speed limit sign, I nailed it. And they were saying it was really good to see that you were trying to get a feel for the power and have a bit of fun on it, And I thought it was great, I was just happy to be on a bike. I was smiling the whole day. And then he was like, we took me somewhere to do some figure of eights. And I started doing them, and I was doing alright. So there you go, then now do it on the 600, and I was like, oh, for fuck's sake, my first ride on the 600 is figure of eights. But I actually found it easier. I know that seems a little bit weird. I don't know whether it's because of the smoothness of the ride, but I found it easier on the 600, and that was it. I was hooked on that inline 4. I loved it, and the power, oh fuck me, I can't wait to get another one. I had 3 training sessions altogether. So my first one was to get me back onto a bike. Once we'd done that, we booked my Mod 1. My second training session was the Mod 1 training, which was awesome because they have access to the Basildon Mod 1 test centre. So I actually got to do my Mod 1 training where I'd be doing my test, which was really good. Gave you a lot more confidence when you turn up on the day. So then I'd done my Mod 1, and the examiner at Basildon was a really nice bloke. I'm not going to name names or anything like that for this, but you know, both examiners I had overall at Basildon were both really nice, so you know, it's good. Mod 1, I was a bit nervous, but I was confident enough. I wasn't, you know, shaky or anything like that. I didn't show nerves. I sort of felt it underneath, but my anxiety was just non-existent. Bizarre. You know, I have this massive anxiety where I'm normally, you know, shaking, I feel sick, I've got the trots, the lot, and I had none of it. It was brilliant. It was absolutely brilliant, and I enjoyed the test. Is that ridiculous? I enjoyed my Mod 1 test. I mean, my test, my tutor said to me, he said, enjoy it, because you will never ride on a surface as good as that again in your life, because they use sort of tarmac you get at runways, so it's extremely high grip even in the wet. So I enjoyed it, and it was good to be back on the bike. Then I had my I got back from there, we booked my Mod 2 straight away, and then booked my training for the day before. Turn up for my training, and you know, I didn't really have many issues. My biggest problem was unnecessary lifesavers. Too many lifesavers. I mean, who the fuck suffers with too many lifesavers? Needless lifesavers. Anyway, all I've done so far is tell you about my fucking bike test. I was meant to be telling you about how it's cured and, well, relieved most of my anxieties. And I don't really know how to explain it. Being on a bike, for me, takes away all anxiety. I don't feel it. So then I thought, right, I passed me Mod 2, so I passed both tests first time, and again, thanks to Art, they were absolutely brilliant, and I really recommend them to anyone. They don't teach you to pass your tests, they teach you to ride. They don't try and take money off of you. You get your money's worth. You get your money's worth. So after I've been riding for a few weeks, and by the way, they all complimented my riding. They said I ride like a full licence holder. They said I rode really well, which was a big compliment. I mean, I know I had ridden in the past, but I'd watched a lot of videos, you know, like Roadcraft Nottingham, to name one, and you know, a few others of people that were riding, and so I think that all helped a lot with road positioning and how to corner properly and stuff like that. And then I moved, so then I thought, right, I've passed my test, been riding for a few weeks, I feel confident enough now that I can ride with some people. So now, to face a massive anxiety, I'm going to go on a group ride. Now, I don't know many people who ride bikes, and I saw Suffolk Andy, one of his videos, he was out on a group ride. So I commented on it, I said, where do I find out about these types of group rides? He gave me a link to a Facebook page, Suffolk and Bits of Essex Bikes, Not Pedals, something along those lines. It's a really good page. You know, there's a really good community spirit on there. You know, people have a good laugh, a lot of banter. You read through the comments and the posts and you think, yeah, these look like some good guys. Looks like, you know, they could be a good laugh. And then I saw that there was a meet-up on there all being organised between, I think it started out as Blah-de-Blah and Late Rider CBR. We're going to go out for a ride together. Somehow it just turned into this, you know, this nice big group. There were a lot of people planning to go. And I thought, well, there we go. That's my first ride out. And I went for it. I thought, yeah, I'm going. And I'll be honest, I felt a bit nervous in the morning. I had my usual bad guts, you know, but I went to the toilet. I thought, no, fuck it, I'm going to go anyway. I was smart. The day before, I went out and bought some Imodium. Now, Imodium's my safety behaviour. For anybody who's had counselling for anxiety, they'll know what I mean by that. But basically, that's my safety behaviour. That's my way of feeling safer about everything. I was determined not to take it. And I looked on the map and I saw there was a Tesco's nearby. I rode to Tesco's, like nearby to the meet-up. So I rode all the way on the A12, all the way up to Colchester. And I couldn't find this Tesco, so I pulled into a petrol station, and there were two of the people from the ride out. Although I didn't know it at the time, I had a complete prat of myself. I gave them a nod and then walked straight past them, filled up with petrol, and I went away to the meeting point. But I got to the meeting point, and I could really go with going to the toilet here. I'm getting a bit nervous, and I don't know why. And people turned up. Blah-de-Blah was the first person to say hello to me. He come straight over, and he was like, "Hiya!" What a nice bloke. You know, and then I sort of met with a few of the others. and then boom, I had this anxiety attack, and I could have shat my pants right there and then. Oh, and all the blood drained from my body, and I thought, fuck, I'm gonna pass out. How embarrassing is that gonna be? And I thought, fuck me, I'm gonna pass out here. What can I do? So I opened my bag, and I had the Imodium in there, and a bottle of water. So I thought, fuck it, that's what I'm gonna do. So I took some Imodium and a little bit of water, and after a few minutes, I actually felt all right. And I was lucky, really, because then we got onto the bike and onto the bikes, and we left. And to be fair, the rest of the day, other than the fact that I was a little bit quiet, probably because of, you know, I was spending a lot of time thinking about, you know, my anxieties and going to the toilet. Hopefully next time I won't be so quiet. But yeah, I met a few guys there, and they were all really, really great, and I can't wait to go riding with them all again. I'd love to sit here and name all the names, but, you know, I'm always worried that I'd miss someone, and it'd be someone I got on with really well, and they'd be like, fucking bastard. They all made me feel really, really welcome and comfortable. Even on my, you know, let's be honest, my bike sticks out like a sore thumb. And, you know, it was alright. Really good day, thoroughly enjoyed it, and I really can't wait to do it again. I shot off at the end. I could have stayed a little bit longer, but I started to get, I don't know, I think I just wanted to finish the day on a high, and I felt good, so I decided to go. But next time I'll definitely stick around afterwards as well, and have a real good chin wag with them and get to know them a bit more. So this leads me to the point of the video, eventually. This is stuff I could never have done before I got my bike. And it's the passion for the bikes that has given me the push and the edge to do this. And I'm so happy that I done it, honestly. Now, I've still got a few things that I have to sort out, but it's helped. The other thing that I've done, motovlogging. I'm one of those people who are not confident with their own voice or what they have to say. And I tend to not speak up because of that. And you're probably sitting here going, fuck me, mate, you're right. But the point is, this is helping with my anxiety. Because I'm having to watch a video, hear myself, in the words of Jamie, laugh like a hyena. I have to listen to that and go, I'm putting that on YouTube. And I'll say the first few times, it's still now, it's really nerve-wracking. And you sit there, and I don't know if anybody else does this, but I sit there and I think, what if I get negative comments? And that's what I'm trying to sort of rid my anxiety by thinking to myself, well, ignore the negative comments. Not everyone will like you. But if you get one good comment, and you think to yourself, if that one person gives you a good comment, out of 100 views, that's 1 in 100 people like your stuff enough to comment or discuss it. And that is a massive, massive confidence boost. By taking that with me, going forward, I will have less anxiety, which means I can speak my mind more, make more friends, enjoy company more, enjoy good conversation more, and enjoy life more. And that's the key. If anxiety is stopping you from enjoying your life, you have to fight. You have to. And I fought, and I am winning. And I would like to thank Art for helping me pass my test. I'd like to thank my next door neighbour for selling me the bike and helping me out with doing that and a few other bits. I'd like to thank my dad for lending me the money because, you know, I could have waited for my bonus, but he said no, don't worry about it. And I'd like to thank my girlfriend massively for supporting me, getting on the back of the bike with me and just sharing that experience. I think she realises, I think she can see the changes in me as we go. And finally, I'd like to thank the people from the ride out, you know, for being so nice. But yeah, so thanks to everyone on the ride out. It was good to meet you all. I hope to ride with you all again soon, and I will come out of my shell, and you will hate me for it. But anybody who's looking to fight anxiety, I'm not saying go and get a motorbike, but find something that would give you the push. So something you enjoy enough that would give you the push to go and do it more, and then hopefully it will give you the push to fight your anxieties and get out of that mindset, which is what it done me. I don't know how I'm going to get that into a clip that's only going to be 10 minutes long. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate you just taking the time to watch it, but if you give me a thumbs up and a comment and maybe even a subscription below, that would be absolutely amazing. You have no idea how much it means to me. Ride safe everybody, and I'll speak to you all soon.